Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Ask Rebecca radio show. Sorry about that. I was busy running my mouth. Let's see here. Let me get situated. Okay. All right. Here we are. Hello. I hope everyone had a great week. We are officially in the month of November. We are still in a lot of Scorpio energy, which can bring about a certain intensity and moodiness to situations, especially emotional ones. I am a Scorpio, so I completely am at home in this energy, but you may find yourself and others more moody, emotional, and maybe behaving more intensely than usual. It will be a month mixed with some really wonderful energies, but those are more towards the end of the month. And those have the potentials to they have the potentials to expand love, money, self-esteem, and optimism. While some of the more uncomfortable energies that create drama and stress, those will be sprinkled throughout the month and more so towards like now, this week or so. And then yeah, I would say this first part, like the first week, and then the rest of it is a little sprinkling throughout the month here and there. There is a caution with thinking before you speak, since people will be more sensitive. So really be mindful of what you're about to say, right? Sometimes we react emotionally and we blurt things out, and it could come across harshly or it could come across with a tone. You know, we all love that tone. So really be mindful of that. And you could be overcoming some emotional hurts. There could be clashes with ideas, ideals, or arguments happening over different beliefs. Material gains through spiritual pursuits and some support from others is also going to be coming about. So if you have a spiritual practice and you are actually doing that for a living, like myself, you can see some material abundance coming your way because of that. And since we are still in Mercury retrograde, which is also in Scorpio, yay, you could experience or see issues with your cell phones, computers, the internet, transportation, and maybe some accidents. So really pay attention to what you're doing. Be mindful. Try to be present in the moment. We will also begin to feel the eclipse energy that's happening on December 26th. So you could start to see a cycle of completion with things that began in 2018 happening between now and the middle of 2020. So again, it's stuff that seeds that you might have planted in 2018. Maybe you start seeing those come to fruition, or they have basically run their course, so they're ending. Same thing with any kind of dramas or challenges that you've been in since 2018. You'll start to feel that energy lift and it coming to a close. And it's like I said, it could last until the middle of 2020. Lots of intense energies. Surf those waves the best that you can. My advice is go with the flow, stay present in the moment, and tackle issues as they arise, right? There's no point in worrying about things before they happen. Let's get into what you can expect from tonight, November 7th through to November 14th as an overall theme, and then areas of love, work, finances, health, and spirituality. General themes for the week: love, the glue that holds everything together. It's the most powerful energy that exists. And it will be transforming you, your life, the people around you, and everything that it touches. The energy will be strong. Expect everything that isn't of the highest vibration of love to be purged from your soul, your life, your existence, right? It could be emotional purging. It could be jobs. It could be homes, relationships. Everything and anything that is standing in your way to embody love and to be able to receive love. It could be intense for some, especially if you don't like change. If you have a difficult time with change, you probably will be feeling uncomfortable this week, or and it could maybe lead into the week after, but I'm not 100% positive about that just yet. Um, so look, this is happening so that you can receive love at this current frequency, right? The energies keep intensifying, and they're going to continue to be of higher vibrations. And that's when we go through like, a layer of purging, then everything kind of settles down, you integrate it. And then, right when you get comfortable again and everything seems to be working out, here comes another wave of energies that come in and kind of knock you off kilter a little bit. But the beautiful thing is you should start to see that as you're working through stuff, now you're not going through the purging process anymore. Now it's coming in a different way, right? The power of love will only intensify as it does. More and more love light is forcing the darkness out of the shadows to be healed and transformed. But as you're allowing that to happen, there's going to be less and less that needs to be healed and needs to be transformed. So then this energy is when you really start feeling blissed out and you're feeling content and you're feeling peaceful. So hang in there. We're kind of like an onion, you know, you go to the Outback Steakhouse and you get a bloomin' onion and it opens up like this in different layers. Well, that's what we're doing. We're working from the outside layers to the core. So it's a process, it's cyclical, it's spiral in nature. So you're going to have to come up against a couple of things here and there multiple times as you're working through of these things and letting them go. So allow yourself to be healed, receive the love and stand strong. Don't let dramas in your life and the world impact your focus, your strength, and the truth of who you are and what you want to accomplish. And this will be a time to silently watch as new doorways begin to open while other ones close. And you'll know when to take action. For now, it's time to just kind of let go of things, or transform them, right? Like if some things maybe don't need to be let go of, but they just need to be approached in a new way, or you need to look at it from a new perception with a new set of eyes. So work on that. Purge yourself the way you would clean out a closet or a cupboard full of old clothes that don't fit anymore and food that's expired. So look at your beliefs, look at your emotional reactions and triggers, look at who you surround yourself with, look at what you attract into your life, and start getting rid of the people, things, and situations that are holding you back and holding you down. And look at where you're holding yourself back and down because of self-limiting beliefs. A change is needed, and it's coming whether you want it or not. And this week is straight up about transformation and change, destruction followed by renewal. And it comes from the energy of love that is cleansing all that is not helping you get closer to the truth of who you are. It's nothing to fear. And in fact, the more you embrace and receive this divine love, the sooner you'll be seeing those doorways open for you more frequently. And it just becomes easier. I know it sounds weird and how is that possible? But it is. It really is. So don't look at those things, those challenges, and what feels like destruction happening as a negative. It really is a positive. Embrace it. It'll make it so much easier. Those of you who have been feeling stuck and like nothing is moving forward in your life, this energy is going to show you where you've not realized you've been keeping yourself stuck because you've been too afraid to just make a decision, any decision, to get you moving forward again, which would require you to make a decision and take some action steps so that those blocks can be released. You are the block. You are blocking yourself. You are holding yourself back. You are the block, right? So you hold the keys to your freedom, always have, and you always will. Lastly, control issues will also be coming up. you'll need to look at them, and you need to deal with them in whatever way necessary to help you relinquish control and realize the only thing you can control is yourself through your choices. You choose what you feel, you choose who you date, you choose who you socialize with, you choose what you eat, you choose what to buy, what to wear, when to sleep, when to talk, what to drive, when to walk, when to run, when to cuss, when to go to the bathroom, when to have babies or not. You choose to use protection or not. You see how many choices that you make, and those are just a handful. You're literally making thousands of choices in a matter of a day. And you make so many of them, yet some of you believe life is happening to you, and or that you can control other people's choices, right? So that's a false illusion. You can only control yourself. In summary, it may be an intense week for some. And those of you who have done lots of purging and you've been doing the work on yourself and you've been getting real about your baggage and your hangups, well, it's going to be a little less intense for you. This is where you could see love coming into your life in a more positive and abundant way versus a clarifying and purging way. Work, for those of you employed, unfortunately, I do feel like some people may be laid off or terminated this week. A few of you may actually decide to quit. And those of you that are unhappy may start figuring out a plan of action to make a career change, or maybe an employer change, or maybe you decide that you are going to work for yourself. And those of you who have been feeling trapped at your job, you finally put two and two together and have the realization that you're afraid to leave because of whatever security you feel there, but you can choose to move on. And if you did, you'll probably be happier. My advice would be just don't quit before finding another job. Take your time to find the perfect fit that is going to bring you more happiness, that's going to be more connected to something that you feel passionate about, and that will bring more money into your life. Take your time to find that perfect fit, but at minimum try. There's, what's the harm in applying at different places while you still have a job? And I do feel like you will be pleasantly surprised. Those of you that are looking for a job, I'm not really feeling too much for those of you looking. We are coming up on the holiday season, so there may be more temporary jobs that are available that I feel like you can get involved in and do while you continue the job search, right? And don't shy away from Uber, Lyft, Wag, DoorDash, Amazon deliveries, Poshmark, Etsy, and other quick start and quick paying jobs to just supplement your income until something better comes along. And, those are gigs where you would basically make your own schedule. So you could always keep them even if you have a full-time job or another part-time job. My perspective is some money coming in is better than no money coming in at all. So, consider those alternatives to help you temporarily. Love, those of you that are in committed relationships and dating seriously, it could be a rocky time in relationships, especially if you've been unhappy and you're holding on to one out of fear of losing some form of security, whether it be financial security or a fear of being alone. If you don't choose to make a change, it will stay the same, and you could live another 50 plus years, right? Depending on your age. And with technology, we might be living well into our hundreds, and you're going to wake up every day being unhappy. I don't know. Take a look at that. Think about that. Some of you may get up the courage this week to let go, or you'll be forced to let go because of outside forces. So there could be something that pops up in relationships that basically forces the break for you. Some of you may make some choices to stay and try to keep that magic alive, or at minimum, you're talking about how unhappy you are in the relationship so that change can actually happen, right? If you're not facing it, if you're not talking about it, nothing is going to change. And those of you that are in happy relationships, I'm not really feeling too much drama for you guys at all. It just feels like it's going to be, the usual, whatever your usual pattern is in your relationship. Those of you that are single and dating, I do feel some of you may need to take a time out from dating and reevaluate what type of people you're attracting into your life and to take a look at the energy that you're actually putting out there. Is it one of neediness, desperation, insecurity, fear, or lust? If it is, you could be attracting the wrong type of people or pushing people away. So really take a look at that. Finances, some may be dealing with financial challenges and may be making sacrifices this week. Face the situation, ask for help if you need it, and work through the problems one day at a time. Even those of you who may not be having current financial challenges, I do feel like you could see some financial things pop up. Like maybe you need a new water heater, or, you need to get a new set of tires, or some other kind of unexpected bigger ticket item that you were, it's not something you purchase frequently. It's not something that's part of your budget. It's one of those things that just kind of happens and it puts a little dent into your cash flow. And I also feel like someone may lose their wallet. So pay attention to your wallets this week. Health, stress in all caps this week, manage it, or you could see some physical symptoms in your body. I also feel a few of you just need a hug and some physical contact. If you don't have someone you can hug, go to the animal shelter and volunteer and love on some animals. And also, I'm getting for those of you who are dealing with a chronic health issue, don't let it define you. Stop reinforcing that you're sick, right? Stop saying, I'm sick, I've got this, I've got that, I've got this. You're just reinforcing that, and you can kind of feel better if you're not stuck in your head about it. And focusing your energy on healing. Spirituality, change and more change. And some could be dealing with really critical, nitpicky, fault-finding people. Set boundaries. And if it's you who is acting this way, get over yourself. It's not attractive. And last thing coming to mind here is if you don't like something, change it and cultivate a positive attitude as well. That wraps up this week's intuitive messages for everyone. Let me get to tonight's caller. I have Fiona in Kilmore, Victoria, Australia. Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks, Rebecca. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How can I help you tonight?
Just anything, any messages you've got for me would be really appreciated.
Okay, let's see. I feel like you've got a lot going on right now.
I do.
Yeah, I feel like there's sort of different pockets of maybe people in your life and situations where it feels like a little bit of drama, right? It kind of feels like there's some challenges here and that there's lots of changes happening with certain people in your life. And I feel like the message that I'm getting is that you're holding on too tightly and you may be fantasizing, or maybe fantasizing isn't even the right word. Maybe it's, how we have that, we build ourselves up and we have so much hope that things will change, or, we just expect things to maybe be a little bit different. And I feel like you might be too immersed in that energy and you might need to consider really letting go a little bit.
Okay, because I've been in a 22-year relationship and I'm just deciding if I want to leave it or not.
Ah, okay.
But I don't know how that will affect my kids.
Okay, so I'm not surprised you say that because I actually felt like your relationship just ended, or is on the verge of ending.
He won't leave.
So look here. Okay, so it's two things that I'm feeling here.
Yeah.
I know that you have obviously a lot of history and a lot of love there. But I feel like in order to survive this relationship, there's a lot of damage control that needs to happen and a lot of communication. And there's a part of me that feels like you guys may be past that. It just almost feels like it might be a little bit too late, right? It's almost like you've already resolved everything within inside of yourself and you're kind of just like, I don't really want to stay anymore. Like I'm done. But it's the
Yep.
fear.
Yeah, that's how I feel, yes.
Yeah,
he doesn't want it to end and he's doing everything he can to stay.
Yeah, oh my goodness. It's such a tough situation. Look, the children I feel are they're resilient and I feel like they feel what is happening. Are they middle aged? They don't feel really, really young. They kind of feel like maybe somewhere between 10 and 15, somewhere like that.
I have a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 22-year-old.
Oh my Lord. Okay, so they your 5 and 6-year-old feel pretty mature for their ages.
Yeah, they are.
They're really, really sharp. Um, and they're really wise actually for how young they are. The
Yeah,
the
like they've been
the
here before.
I'm sorry, what?
It's like they've been here before. They know exactly
Yes,
what's
oh my
going on.
gosh. They actually feel so much more mature than your 22-year-old.
That's funny.
They really are. I feel like they're great. I feel like all your kids are really great.
Yeah,
And
yeah, they are.
I do. They are going to be fine. And I feel like all three of them see the problems, right? They see how disconnected you are in the relationship and they feel it. And I feel like there's been a lot of arguing going on. I just feel like there's just feels like a lot of tension and I feel like your nerves are frayed, like
Not so much arguing, but the tension. There's been a lot of
yeah.
tension.
Yeah, well, because I think you've moved past, like on some level, like I think the arguing has already happened, and you're just at the point where it's like, don't even look at me, don't talk to me, let me just go over here and do the dishes. Like you're just kind of like politely avoiding each other, but it's really uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
feel
exactly how it is.
I feel like you have nothing to lose by walking away. I know maybe financially you're concerned about things. I do feel like you will be okay. And I do feel you can get to a point where you can co-parent. And I think both of you want to split up. Honestly, I feel like both of you do.
Yeah, I do. He tells me he doesn't and he won't move out. I'm actually not working at the moment. My youngest is starting school next year and my the 6-year-old is in prep. So I'm not working. So that is one of my big concerns. How do I financially do it?
Right. So you definitely, I feel, would need to get a job before you leave. So this is something, look, it's hard. I just feel like you're completely done with the relationship. And
Yeah.
even though he said, like, I know, like, there's a part of him that doesn't want to split up, but I feel like the other part of him, he's just tired of the uncomfortable awkwardness and not, you're just not, you're roommates. But you've even gotten to the point
We
where
don't
the
even share a
roommates,
room.
right? Like you're just like strangers living under the same roof that happen to have children together. Um, so
Yep.
I feel like, look, he's not a horrible guy. I feel like he's willing to work
No,
with
he's
you.
not, and he's a great dad.
Yeah, and he will co-parent. And I feel like he would give you the opportunity to stay under the same roof, find yourself a job or figure out something that you could do on your own to make money. I feel like he's even willing to kind of do a trial separation to see, if you really do want to break up permanently.
He has got a place to stay, and he stayed there 2 nights, and he just refuses to go. He just wants to stay here.
So he tried, and it's not working for him.
For one night, he tried.
Yeah, you know what? He's got a lot of fear too. I think he's afraid of being alone. And
Yeah.
of course, he loves you and you have the kids, and I think he's worried about that. Look, I mean, if you want, you can email me at askrebecca@gmail, and I'll give you a relationship book. It might have some pointers in there where you can get on the same page a little bit while you temporarily work through this.
I keep saying to him, I'm happy to co-parent together because I believe kids need both parents in their life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are about to get cut off. Fiona, email me and I'll give you a book. I think you're going to be all right either way with whatever decision. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I will see you next week. Bye.